So it's how to talk to people who do things that you don't understand very well or at all is not something you're born knowing. It's something that you learn how to do by doing it. And unfortunately, it's very hard to be you find yourself in a position that someone needs to give you permission. They need to pay for the costume department for you to learn with. So it was, in a way, just like a very, very fortunate to have kind of the rules from school.
Some of my favorite scenes from the first season, Dan wrote this great scene between King Robert and Queen Cersei, and it was because we realized that we didn't have a single scene with the two of them alone together in the rest of the show. And so there's 100 minutes of scenes that ended up in the season, and it was really the first time I think that we started out writing these scenes, and these weren't scenes we were just books, and so this is the first time I think we deviated at all really from the central narrative. And I think we got to know the characters a lot better. By that point, we already been working with these actors for several months, so we knew their voices. They were in our heads. We were writing for King Robert, and you have Mark Abbey's voice in your head, or Cersei with Lena. It's just a huge boom. And that was, again, a weird circumstance where our inexperience ended up kind of helping because we learned so much from that.
Well, so you are taking us back to character here, and I'd like to hear some more about King Kong here. Where were you in the process learning these characters you're talking about and figuring out, okay, yes, they're in the books and the next book and the next book, but where are you going to add some of these pieces you're talking about to expand their character's world? And Arya is a good example. I mean, she was such a great character, and the journey you took her on, which made her, somebody so incredibly charismatic, and so that process, how did that, these discussions that were happening early on? I mean,
as far as the characters go, the Thrones cast and crew was like our second family. We spent as much time with these guys as we did with our own families, probably a lot more, sadly. And my Thrones children saw more of me than my actual children did a lot of the year. And as you get to know Maisie, and as you get to know Sophie and Amelia and Peter and everybody, they find their way. The person finds his or her way into the character, and it's like they redecorate the house that you gave them. But after a couple seasons, in some cases, it doesn't even resemble the house that they moved into. They've done a lot of work on it. They're creating the character. You're following their lead as much as they're following your lead. They're creating the psychological nuances of their character as much as you are on the page. And you're writing to content. That makes it much easier. I mean, you hear whenever you're writing Mark, Sean, or especially like the Kit and Amelia and Peter, the ones who were there for the whole 8 seasons, you can write a line and know instantly that won't sound right coming out of his or her mouth. That's not the way his version of cheering would say this. Even the subtle word choices, you kind of have a model of them in your head, and you almost get a table read in your head of the scenes you're writing, and you kind of tell how it's going to play, just as you're doing it, you know so most people.
Jeremy and David and Dan, all of us, this was very carefully plotted out. It was a very hard day on set. But also, I will say, as a writer and as a producer, an exhilarating day, because the work being done that day, I think, is some of the best work being done on the show in terms of the way it's shot, and in terms of the camera moves, the lighting, the dressing, and most of all, these performances, these faces.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a strong scene. I mean, it's even though it's cruel, but
I mean, Alfie and Sophie are they're just extraordinary. And if you ask why we wanted to bring Sansa into this world, it didn't have to do with this scene. It had to do with the idea of her coming back to reclaim her family home, and encountering this broken character who betrayed her family, and the fireworks of these actors, two of our finest actors in the cast, playing off each other. That was why we made the decision to put Sansa in Winterfell.
You know, it's been. I mean, when this is all over, it'll be almost 10 years, and so I've gotten to know some of these actors and be able to write to their strengths and to know what an actor is capable of giving me in any given moment. Alfie's a great example of somebody who I know I can write an entire scene where he doesn't speak and script the subtext of what's going on, and he will convey all of that behind the eyes or with a look. And that's an incredible gift to a writer, the kinds of actors that can do that.
Littlefinger, because this
Yes.
was sort of, Littlefinger has been a fascinating character for me to watch throughout the series because he has had a hand in, I feel like, almost everything that has happened.
Yeah, and a lot of it. You know, there's that great look. This is, again, like, I praise our actors, but, like, that's another thing where, you know, in those big crowd scenes, you shoot coverage of everybody. They take forever, those scenes in the Great Hall where everyone's reacting to things, and so you've got a camera on Aiden reacting to the whole scene, you know, Aiden Gillen, who plays Littlefinger. And there's one little bit he did where he reads the thing about Daenerys arriving, and Aiden just goes, you know, like, oh, okay, Daenerys Targaryen's alive with dragons. Make a note of that. Like, just watching him internalize that is delicious.
This is one of my favorite scenes of the whole season. I mean, just the performances here, no movement, Celine on her knees and Jonathan sitting, but just so compelling watching both these faces.
It was a gift, you boys.
And again, another time it's just get out of the way and let them do their thing.
We knew episode 6 couldn't just pick up visually where episode 5 left off. And I think from the very beginning we knew that a very large part of episode 6 in the beginning especially was going to be not about what was being seen, but about the person who was seeing it and what it was doing to him as seen largely in shots that stay very close on Peter's face.
I wish you all the happiness in the world.
Indira's just a fantastic actress.
Yeah, she really is so powerful. It's another character we didn't expect to go on beyond season 4.
She showed up at Nina and Robert's office, and we were huge fans of hers from Rome, and we really hadn't planned on Ilaria being much more than an accessory to Oberyn, but as soon as we knew that Indira was up for it, we reconceived the part to make it something that hopefully was worthy of some of her talents, which are tremendous.
And as you get to know Maisie, as you get to know Sophie and Maria, Peter and everybody, they find their way, the person finds his or her way into the character, and it's like they redecorate the house that you gave them. But after a couple seasons, in some cases, it doesn't even resemble the house that they moved into. They've done a lot of work on it. They're creating the character. You're following their lead as